Before we get into the video, I need you guys to do me a favour. Number 1, get this video to at least 200 likes. Also comment, let me know your thoughts on the story. Pensioner 68-year-old David Jackson fatally ended the life of 27-year-old Mckyla Taylor on August 16th of 2022, last year, in such a brutal and callous fashion. Now, Mckyla Taylor was a mum to a 4-month-old child. Parents and friends of Mckyla says that her dream was to be a parent herself, and she actually achieved it. Now, sadly, reports say that David and Mckyla were known to each other, mostly due to the fact that David had inherited over £150,000 from his mum, and he used that money to socialise and buy friends essentially, whether that be get the beers in, food or gear, class A. But he had quickly squandered all that money and now relied on benefits. So on August 15th, it was alleged that David and Mckyla had met up at David's flat in Worksop, Nottinghamshire. Allegedly, Mckyla needed a bit of cash to get some gear herself. This proved a costly mistake. Now, David had been aggressive a lot of the time when he used that white stuff. When Mckyla was 7 months pregnant, David had been detained for putting his hands on her. At the time of Mckyla's M, David was actually on bail for that incident. Now, we don't know what transpired, but what is known is that an argument ensued and David had pounced on Mckyla. He used 2 screwdrivers and other items to target Mckyla's face and body. There were over 200 wounds. Each step of the way, each second that passed, Mckyla tried to defend herself. She fought tooth and nail, but 68-year-old David Jackson was too strong, probably still under the influence of crack. Again, over 200 separate wounds. Let that sink in. Now, the court heard that the incident was prolonged, agonising and traumatic, and brutal and callous, as I said before. After the ordeal, David snipped at Mckyla's clothes, but then covered her up with a duvet. He put weights on the bed and also a bike on top of the duvet as well. After the incident, David just left the flat for a few hours, wandering around the street. He later returned when police found a motionless Mckyla after they forced themselves into the flat at 2 a.m. on August 16th, after Mckyla's family became worried for her. Now, David asked the officers if he could go upstairs to retrieve a jumper he had left. He also then casually made the comment saying that he had KILLED someone upstairs. Now, when police officers went upstairs, they found red-stained screwdrivers in the living room. David was quickly detained, but once interviewed, he clammed up and he was silent. It wasn't until his trial was due to begin that David pled guilty. This was probably because the diminished responsibility excuse was taken off the table, and David Jackson was sentenced to a minimum of 17 years. Tell me, is that fair? Let me know in the comments. Condolences. Stay safe. Safe.